Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetsnews.com, and today we are going to do the quick unboxing and full review of the Gionee M2 phone. And again, one thing I would like to clarify over here, that before I do this unboxing, I have been using this device for more than approximately 2 weeks now, and I'm pretty happy with the overall performance of this device. And again, I have done the unboxing already. This unboxing is something which I'm doing for you so that you get to know all the box contents of this device. So we have the Gionee M2 with us and the box, and again, this is the device which comes with 4200 milliampere hour battery. That means a huge battery, and it also means a slightly heavier phone. And again, I'm going to take you through all the things related to this phone, as far as how is the display, how is the overall sound quality, how is the camera, everything about the phone. So we have the package over here, as you can see, and once we take a look over the package, on the front we have the big battery mentioned, which always indicates that it has a pretty big battery, and this is called the Gionee M2 Marathon. That means it will last long in terms of the overall battery backup, and this is something which I have experienced. I have got around 2 days and sometimes 3 days of battery backup on this device, which is quite commendable. You also get some free flip covers which come within the package, not the flip covers but free gifts which come within the package, that is some additional screen guards. And at the back side of the package or the box, we have some specifications of the device mentioned. So it supports 2 SIM cards. One of them will be supported on the 3G network, whereas the other one will support 2G network, and it is a dual SIM dual standby phone. The display size is 5-inch. The display resolution is FWVGA. We will tell you about the exact resolution as well. The exact resolution is actually 418 to 854. The display technology is a TFT display. That means you will not have very great viewing angles, but again, the battery backup is going to be very good on this device because it is a TFT display, not an IPS display, which actually takes more battery. When it comes to the dimensions, the thickness of the phone is around 10.5 millimeter, as you can see over here. And then we have the GPR support. It does support 3G as well. Wi-Fi is there, Bluetooth 4.0. The primary camera at the rear is a 8 megapixel autofocus camera. It can record high definition video as well. Secondary camera is 2 megapixel for the front. And again, when it comes to the OS, it is running on Android 4.2 Jelly Bean. It is having a quad-core 1.3 GHz Cortex A7 chipset. It is a MediaTek chipset which we have on this device, and you have 1 GB of RAM, 4 GB of internal memory, and then you have all these things there. You have TF card slot as well. That means my micro SD memory card slot is there. Up to 32 GB of micro SD memory card you can use on this device. You do have support for GPS navigation as well on this device, and you have gravity sensor, light sensor, and the battery is 4200 milliampere hour, as we already told you. So here we have the other details, like what all things which we will get in the package. One is the handset, a charger, a battery, hands-free cable, USB cable, user guide, warranty card, and some protective TP film. That means the protective screen guards. And then the MRP which is mentioned in the box is 13,099, and again, you can get this device for approximately 12 to 11,000. In that particular price point, you can buy it from the Indian market. And we have the SAR values of the device. Not the SAR values. SAR values are mentioned over here, as you can see. These are the SAR values which are mentioned on the box. It is 0.817 weight per kg at the rate 1 gram head, and 0.778 weight per kg 1 gram body. So let's unbox this and show you the phone. So the first thing which we will see in the package, as always, is the phone itself. And here we have the Gionee M2, which looks pretty good, I would say. It is a pretty handy phone. That is something I can say. However, the 5-inch display phones are never that much handy, but this one looks good. As far as the thing which I can notice for this device is the weight. Again, this device has a pretty big battery. That means the weight of the device is also going to be high, and that is why it is slightly heavy. If we talk about the exact weight, I'm not sure about the exact weight, but again, it is around 160 to 170 gram in terms of the overall weight, which is pretty high. But you will get used to this weight after using this device for a week, or for 2 to 3 days. You can get used to the weight after that. So this is how it looks like from the back side. The back cover is actually matte finish, and again, it gives you a very fine grip when you hold the device in one hand. Here we have the 8 megapixel camera with LED flash. On this side we have the volume locker and the power and sleep key. And again, as it seems, the back cover can be removed, and once we remove the back cover, we can see the battery. So this is the huge battery which we have on this device. I can show you the battery as well. by removing it from the phone. So pretty thick, big battery. The major weight of the device is actually due to the battery, which is pretty big in size. As you can see, it is quite big, and it will give you a great battery backup as well. And when it comes to SIM card slot, the first SIM card which will support 3G is a normal SIM card, which you will need to insert over here, whereas the second SIM card will accept micro SIM, not a normal size SIM card. And then we have the micro SD port for expanding the storage of the device. You can use a 32GB micro SD memory card, and this is how it looks like from the back side. Taking a look over the top, we have the 3.5mm audio jack. On this side we have nothing, no buttons, and at the bottom we have the micro USB port for data syncing and charging, and we have a primary microphone over here for voice calling. When it comes to the secondary microphone, we are not able to locate a secondary microphone on this device. I'm not very sure whether this device actually has the secondary microphone or not. Looks like it does not have it. And when it comes to the front, you have the 2-megapixel camera over here, proximity and ambient light sensors. You have the nice metallic earpiece, and then when it comes to the front, at the bottom we have the touch capacitive buttons, which are within the body of the phone, not within the display, which is always a good thing. So let's keep the phone aside and let's take a look what we have in the package apart from the phone. So here we go, and the package which we see has this polythene, a warranty card, and then a user guide for M2, pamphlet, 2 screen guards. One is this one, and then we have the Gionee India customer care service center list for all the cities across India. Then we have the universal USB charger, and the output current from this charger is 1 ampere. Apart from this, you get these headphones which come within the package. I have used them. The kind of audio quality you get from these headphones is pretty good in terms of the clarity as well as crispness, but in terms of bass levels it is not that great. This is how the mic module look like. It does have a button to pick the call, however there are no volume controls on it. And this is how the kind of L-shaped audio lead look like. Looks pretty good, gold plated. And then we have the standard micro USB to USB cable, and these are all the things which you will get within the package of this phone. So let's keep all these things aside and let's take a look over the Gionee M2 now in detail. Now here we have the Gionee M2, and the first thing I would like to say about this phone is that being a big battery phone, it is a pretty good phone to hold in one hand. You can actually hold this phone in one hand, however the display is pretty big, so you may not be able to use the phone display with one hand all the time, but still it is pretty good in terms of the overall grip, so gives you a nice form factor. The weight of the device is slightly high because of the huge battery, but again you cannot do anything about it. When it comes to the hardware and ports, we already told you. Let's take a look over the UI of the phone now. So talking about the lock screen, this is how the lock screen look like. This is the kind of stock Android UI which we have on this device. Again, you do have an application called Color, which allows you to change the theme of this device, and you can have different look and feel on this device. The theme which I have applied is the Android theme, which is the most simple and basic theme, and this one will run much smoother as compared to the other themes which we have on this device. You can always change the look and feel with the help of other themes. So over here on this theme, as you can see, this is how the home screen look like, and again we have like 2 home screen as of now, and we can have maximum 9 home screen on this device, which is something good. When we talk about the notification center, this is how the notification center look like. It is not stock Android, it is kind of customized in terms of the look and feel. Here we have all the toggles for the vibrate, outdoor, airplane mode, Wi-Fi, auto rotation and more. You can actually access them, and you do have a guest mode as well, which is supported on this device, which is part of the UI. And here we have the settings UI. The settings UI is again not stock Android, it is kind of custom UI which we see running on top of Android. So the UI is very much different and it is customized. When it comes to the version of Android which is running on this device, it is Android 4.2.2. When we take a look over the storage scenario, this device has 4 GB of internal storage, and out of which around 3.40 GB is being given to the system, whereas the phone storage is 612 MB, and out of all around 0.91 GB is available to the user. Again, we have installed a couple of applications and games, so the total amount of storage available to the user is going to be approximately 1.2 or 1.3 GB out of 4 GB you will get on this device. And you do have the option of formatting the phone as well, and again the SD card is not inserted, but even if you insert an SD card, it will not have the option of installing applications on the SD card. That is something I can tell you. And when it comes to the application scenario, this device has 1 GB of RAM, and let me just show you how much of that is actually available. So on this device with 1 GB of RAM, around 420 MB of RAM is being used, whereas you get around 575 MB of RAM, which is free. And the device is responsive enough. There is no lag I can notice as of now. Again, it is not very snappy in terms of the UI transitions, but quite okay to be used. When it comes to the display, let me just show you the display settings as well. So here we have the display settings, and under display settings we can take a look over the brightness. It does have automatic brightness support as well because of the ambient light sensors. And then when it comes to wallpaper, again live wallpapers are going to be supported, static wallpapers are supported. You have lock screen wallpapers as well, which you can set, but video wallpapers by default are not supported. Now taking a look over the tethering options, so you do have support for tethering as well, and you can create a portable Wi-Fi hotspot option over here. As you can see, you can create a portable Wi-Fi hotspot. You can use this device for USB tethering, and Bluetooth tethering is also supported. Taking a look over the sound settings, here we have the sound and display settings. Over here we have a lot of things to control with. However, there is nothing new I can notice as far as sound enhancement is concerned within these sound settings. You do have support for location access as well. That means you can use GPS navigation on this device, provided you have checked both of these two options, and you need to enable this option as well. And once you have enabled this option, it will actually ask you to download some GPS related files as well. And once you have done that, then you can actually use this device for GPS navigation without any issues. We will also talk about the sensor which we have on this device. Taking a look over the common settings, we have the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, display, and system updates as well. So system updates is something which will allow you to check for update for new version of Android which might be available for this device, which is pushed out from Gionee. So you can expect that, and you can check about that from here with the system update application, which is part of the settings UI on the device. Now we have the screen lock settings over here. Under screen lock, you have different kind of lock which you can enable on this device. You can either have a face unlock, pattern unlock, pin unlock, or you can set a password, or you can have a simple slide unlock, or there is nothing to unlock. So in that case, you can also have it none to unlock, which is right now. So none is something which is configured as of now. Taking a look over the application which you will get on this device pre-installed, you get Facebook and Twitter application pre-installed. You have a file manager which will come pre-installed. UC browser is also part of the deal when it comes to the Gionee phone, so it will also come pre-installed on this device. You also have a Amigo Paper UI application, which is again a pretty good application which normally comes on the eLife series application, eLife series devices from Gionee. This application will provide you a large number of useful and high definition wallpapers which you can download and set on your device, including this one. So you can do that. Then you have tools over here which consist of sound recorder, FM radio is also there, flashlight. That means you can use the LED flashlight at the backside as a torch on this device, which is also good. You have a regular clock application, and then you have a game zone application. Other application which will come pre-installed is Kingsoft Office, with which you can actually edit documents on the go. You have Savan application, WeChat is also there. So all these applications you will get apart from the Google applications or the regular Google application, you get a lot on this device. And you also have a Power Manager application on this device, which is going to be pretty useful. This Power Manager application which allow you to actually toggle through all the things which could save a battery. You can toggle over the GPS so that you can save more battery. You can disable sync as well so that you will save battery. And once you disable these features, it will also show you real time that how much battery backup you will get after disabling or enabling these features. And again, you can also go for the quick power saving as well, which will limit the CPU performance and do some other things like decreasing the display brightness, and then you can have more battery backup on this device in case you want to have it. And then we have power settings over here, which allows you to enable quick power saving mode, power settings, and some other things. And there are some tips as well which will tell you that how to actually get more battery backup, what is the appropriate temperature of the battery should be to actually get more backup. For example, the temperature of the battery should be 0 to 35 degrees Celsius in order to get better battery backup. And whenever the device is full charge, make sure that you completely charge the device completely full once per month. so this is going to help you, and make sure you discharge the device as well. So all these things are given over here so that you can actually get to know what all things are there with which you can actually save power on this device. This will change as per your trend, as per your usage. This will keep on changing. You do have an application called Wireless Input Manager, which allows you to connect a Bluetooth keyboard as well. You also have App Manager. App Manager allows you to remove applications, install applications, and do a lot of things. So apart from the regular application which you have on this device, you also get some extra application which will help you to do a task on this device quite easily and quite frequently. When it comes to the hardware of the phone, here we have the hardware information. Let me just show you the same. So the model number is Gionee M2. We have got an ARM V7 processor clocked at 1.3 GHz. It is a quad core processor. It is 6582 chipset which we have on this device, and then we have 418 to 854 resolution, which is quite a small resolution for 5-inch display size. But again, the kind of resolution and the font size it has basically is something which does not make it feel pixelated when you look at the display of this phone. You have a Mali 400 MP GPU. The sensors are accelerometer sensor, proximity, light, orientation, and you also have a magnetic field sensor or magnetometer sensor as well. Talking about the display, basically, if you take a look over the display from extreme angles, you will notice slight amount of color fading, and again the viewing angles are not too great, as well as the color production is also not very good. So you can view the display from extreme angles, but again you will notice blackening of the display and color fading quite a lot, because this device has a TFT display, and the color production is also not that great, but still it is quite decent for day-to-day usage, especially for those who don't expect much from the display department, at least on their phones. So this is all we have as far as the applications and the display is concerned. Let's take a look over the camera now. So I will take a photo from the rear camera, which is an 8 megapixel camera on this device, and I will take two photos, one with artificial light and the other one without artificial light. So let me just take this one as of now. It does have autofocus, and tap to focus is also supported. And let me just take this photo again without artificial light, and now we will compare both of them. So first of all, we will take a look over the first photo. This is the photo which has been taken with artificial light. The kind of details which I see in this photo are really good, as you can see, and the color reproduction is also pretty good. Again, it is not very much natural, but still pretty good, I would say, comparing with the original object over there. And taking a look over this photo, in which we have taken this photo without the artificial light, this one does not look very good in terms of the details, but again it is decent enough, and the color production on this one is also pretty okay. So the camera performance on this device is pretty good, I would say, considering an 8 megapixel camera which can actually take pretty good shots with light and without light as well. It has taken a pretty good shot which looks good. So the camera performance is definitely good. Taking a look over the camera UI, it is the MediaTek camera UI which we have on this device, and these were the settings for different modes. You can actually have a color effect. You also have these capture actions. You can take a photo with touch shot, with gesture shot, smile shot is also there. Here we have all the capture modes, including panorama mode, eraser mode, best face mode, and all these modes are there, although we do not notice the HDR mode as of now on this device. So that is something I would like to tell you. Apart from this, if we take a look over the front camera UI, the front camera is a 2 megapixel camera, and this is how the overall video feed will look like from the front camera. It is not very colorful, I would say. The video feed is kind of hazy, not very stable. You have to make sure that you hold the device stable in order to do a good quality video chat from the front camera. And again, it is pretty okay to be done, especially when it comes to a video call, but not very decent or not very colorful and not very high quality, I would say. So this is the settings. Let me just show you the settings for the photos and video as well. So let's go to the video mode and show you the settings for that. So the video is already started, I guess. I have to pause it. So the video quality is set to fine as of now. That means you can record high definition video from this device at 720p. 1080p videos cannot be recorded, but 720p videos can be recorded, but I'm not sure about the exact frames per second which you will get from this device as far as video is concerned. So let me just go to the photo mode, and in all I would like to say that the overall camera UI and the performance of the camera is pretty decent on this device. The score which we have got for this device on Antutu is 17275, which is again a pretty okay score, not a very great score, but quite decent for a device like this, which is this much priced and this with this kind of display and battery. So this device ranks in between Samsung Galaxy S3 and the Redmi device. So this is how the benchmarks looks like, and again in day-to-day usage this device is not at all bad. You can play some graphic intensive games as well on this device, in case you are wondering, without much of an issue. However, the high definition games like Modern Combat 4 or Frontline Command or Modern Combat 4 or Nova 3, they will also run on this devices, provided you can actually install that on the SD card and run it, or in case you can actually install that on the limited storage which you have on this device. But again they will show you slight amount of graphic lag. So let's start the gaming performance now, and let's first of all run the Temple Run OZ, which is a casual game, and then we will play Frontline Commando D-Day, which is kind of medium graphic intensive game. So let's see how is the overall gaming performance of this device on these two games. So now we are playing this game called Temple Run OZ, and this game is running smoothly. Graphics are smooth, the response from the touchscreen is also smooth. I can see all the controls on the touchscreen as well. Without any issues I can play this game. The overall performance of this game while playing it on this device is pretty decent, I would say. The draw distance for the game is also pretty good, as you can see, and the gravity sensor on the device is also working well. So you can play games like this one or even Subway Surfer as well without any problem on this device. So as you can see, we are playing Frontline Commando D-Day as of now on this device, and as far as graphics are concerned there is no problem. And let me just try playing this game. As far as controls are concerned, I can easily access all the controls on the screen while playing this game. So playing this game in terms of graphic is not an issue. There is no problem as such while playing this game on this device. The touchscreen is responsive, all the controls are visible on the screen, and there is no lag in terms of the graphics as well. So again you can play this game without any problem, as you can see. When it comes to multitouch, this device supports around 5-point multitouch. The score which we have got for this device as far as Ninamark is concerned is 55.7 FPS, which is a pretty good score. And at this score, that means you can actually play most of the games, including graphic intensive games, medium graphic intensive game, casual games. All the games can be played on this device provided you have storage for the same. And in terms of graphics, it is pretty decent. It can handle almost any game, but again high definition games will definitely lag a bit when you try to play those games on this device, but you can play them provided you can install them on the SD card. Now we have just connected an OTG flash drive with this device, and again when we take a look over the notification center, it has not detected the same. That means the OTG is not supported on this device, which is kind of a disappointment. But again, this device does give you a micro SD card slot, so you can expand the storage with the help of micro SD memory card, but OTG is not supported on this device. Now here we have the phone dialer, and again the phone dialer is not stock Android, it is kind of custom one, and you do have the option of making a video call directly from the phone dialer, which is always a good thing. The messaging application on this device is again not stock Android, it is kind of a custom messaging application. When it comes to continuous input typing, continuous input is not supported, or swipe to type is not supported on this device. However, the keyboard keys are pretty big in size, and they also give you a pop-up of which key you have pressed, so you will not face any problem on this device as far as typing goes, either in the portrait mode or in the landscape mode as well. You can always type in the landscape mode in case you are not able to type in the portrait mode, but again because of the big display size, there is no problem as far as typing is concerned on this device. So here we are playing a YouTube video from our channel, and this video is actually a high definition video which is being played at high quality format. The overall viewing angles of the display are again pretty okay, but not too good. As you can see, you can easily notice the blackening of the display from this angle. from this angle it is good. You can view the display from this angle as well. Again, this device has got a TFT display, so the viewing angles are not very great. As far as loudness of the sound is concerned, let me just play this video again and increase the volume of the sound to full. So the overall loudness of the sound which is coming out from this device is quite loud. The loudspeaker is actually at the back side. So in case you place this device like this on a table when you are playing a video, the sound will get muffled, but it will not get blocked completely. And again the sound is quite loud. When it comes to the LED notification light, you do have that as well on this phone, so it will light up whenever you have missed calls or other alerts. When it comes to the battery backup, you will get around 2 days of battery backup or sometimes 3 days of battery backup with moderate usage. For those who actually play a lot of games and watch a lot of videos, you will get more than 1 day of battery backup from this device without much of a problem. For heavy users, it will give you more than 1 day of battery backup. For moderate usage, it will give you more than 2 days of battery backup. And for those who don't use their phone much, as far as multimedia is concerned, it will give you around 3 days of battery backup. 2.5 days is something which I have got at times. So this is all we have as far as the full review of the Gionee M2 is concerned. The key points of this phone I would like to highlight before I conclude this review is that it has a pretty good battery which will give you good amount of battery backup. It has a decent camera at the back, a decent camera at the front as well. The display is again not too great in terms of the viewing angles, but again because of this TFT display, the overall battery backup of the phone is pretty good. When it comes to the SIM card support, you do have dual SIM card support on this device, which is always a good thing. The overall performance of this device in terms of graphics is decent as well. You can play heavy graphic intensive game as well at times, but again you might notice slight amount of graphic lag. When it comes to medium graphic intensive games and casual games, they will run pretty smoothly on this device. Another problem which might be a problem for you is that this device has 4 GB of internal storage, out of which around 2 GB approximately is going to be available to the user, or a little bit less than that. In that case, you will have limited storage, but you do have a micro SD memory card slot as well on this device to expand the storage, so you can actually expand it and then use it. Again, OTG is not supported on this device, so you will have to live up with the micro SD memory card, and you can actually install applications on the micro SD memory card. That is something I would like to correct on this phone. So this is all we have. I would like to give a thumbs up to the Gionee M2. Do let me know if you have any specific question for this device. We would love to help you. You can like this video help you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.